What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your favorite place to talk some bare knuckle fighting. It is the Mike and Mish Show. What up, Mike?
Yo, what is going on? We are here.
We are here. We are here.
Present and accounted for.
Present and accounted for. You know what? Before we do anything else, I just want to just like shout out our people down south. I wore this shirt tonight. BKFC. I wore this because we got close friends and family down in the Florida area, and we got friends down in the North Carolina area, and they were hit very hard by the hurricane this past week. And just wanted to say that we're thinking about you guys. We're thinking about all of you. Crystal and Jared and Chachi and Kevin and everybody else that was affected by it down there. There's some devastating shit, Mike.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people were affected by the hurricane in a lot of states, actually, way more than I realized. I have a soldier going to school down in Georgia, and I didn't even realize that the east side of Georgia was affected. Like,
I didn't know that either. All you hear in the news is about Florida and North Carolina. I didn't know that Georgia got hit too hard. That's crazy.
All of Georgia, South Carolina, I think. It's crazy.
It's wild, man. As much as I love Florida, man, it makes shit like this. What happened to Fort Myers a few years back, like this here. Florida's a great place to go, but I don't know about making a residence down there, man. That's some you're flirting with fire when it comes to these hurricanes, and they're right in the heart of it. Just wanted to show you guys. Let's just show this real quick, Mike, and then we'll do our sponsor reads. Chachi Versace's house. If you guys go in the description on our YouTube video right now, the link to the GoFundMe for Chachi Versace is in there. They're trying to raise money because his house was completely destroyed. Like, he has lost it all. Here's some photos of
in his
home. In his house,
crazy.
Look at that. Water up all the way up to the doorknob. You know, lost everything. And even though he lost everything, he's still out helping other people. Him and Kevin were out today helping people with flood relief. So if you guys can help out, help out the BKFC family. The link for Chachi Versace is in our description of this video today. But also, if you go on our Instagram story, I shared the link to Jared and Crystal, their GoFundMe, because they had a major damage on their home as well. And we haven't shared it yet, but David Feldman said on the Bare Knuckle show the other day that he's going to start a GoFundMe, and we got the link for that. So I'll share that later. If that reaches $20,000, he's going to match it, and it's going to go to the people that need it. So thoughts and prayers out to you guys. And if you can help. With that said, we got a show for you guys tonight. We got two top prospects in the BKFC that are going to be fighting, not each other, but they're both fighting on the same card out in Denver, October 25th. 1-0, Ramiro Figueroa is going to be on here. He's taking on Carl Deaton III. Deaton III on October 25th. And then we're going to bring on our old friend Andrew Strode, who's going to be taking on Chancey Wilson that same night. So 2 undefeated prospects on the come up, and excited to talk to them. Before we do, make sure you guys go over to buckedup.com. Listen up. Hey, listen up. Buckedup.com. Check out their supplements. Check out their energy drinks. Check out their apparel. And use promo code Mike20 at checkout so you can get 20% off anything you purchase on their website. Top stuff. Wholeheartedly stand behind their whole supplement line. I love it all. And the clothes are comfortable as hell too. And the sugar-free drinks don't suck. So, buckedup.com, promo code MikeandMish20.
Hey, dynamic life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life by reaching optimal health. Visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's LIV Dynamic on Instagram.
Boom. There it is. With that said, Mike, you want to jump right into it? Our first guest is in the virtual green room right now, and he's ready to come on. What do you say?
The Virch Green. All right. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll be joined by Ramiro Figueroa.
The Rasha is a true scalar plasma energy technology with the most advanced base 12 frequency collection that protects, enhances, and harmonizes the autonomic nervous system. This can help a soldier, athlete, or animal improve their training, endurance, recovery time, and overall performance while achieving the ultimate victory-winning mindset called consciousness coherence. Once in this state of consciousness coherence, a soldier or an athlete is able to advance his target focus to a level where it is completely in the now present moment with relaxation and stress release. The Rasha is where science meets consciousness.
Boom. There it is, the Rasha. And with that, we welcome you, Ramiro Figueroa. Welcome to the Mike and Mish Show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me.
You know, we had to get you on here because we talked to your opponent the other day, but after your first go round in the BKFC squared circle, you really kind of stole the show for everybody. Everybody was like, who is this young 22-year-old stud beating the living shit out of this guy in the BKFC squared circle? So here you are, you're back. You got a tougher opponent, a big step up in competition here from your last opponent, and you got to be excited about this, huh?
Yeah, that is correct. Big step up, and we're ready for the challenge.
Now, 22 years old, you have a bright future with the gloves on as well. You're still actively boxing. You just had a match that went to a draw, but you were on a 4-fight win streak prior to that. What drew you over to bare knuckle?
What drew me over to the bare knuckle side was I wanted a different sort of feeling, excitement. I kind of felt that when I first started boxing, and throughout the multiple years of me fighting, I slowly stopped feeling that, and I just wanted something to excite me. And bare knuckle was definitely the spot. It's still exciting me, and I just want it all.
What do you now? Obviously, being a young guy coming up in gloved boxing, that's got to be like your first love here. But how you feeling with the gloves off compared to traditional boxing? Are you leaning in either direction more than the other, or are you still still a traditional boxer at heart, messing around over here in bare knuckle?
Most definitely got to stick to my boxing. I do believe this is a reason why I also joined bare knuckle. Is I did my research on my weight division, and there's not that many boxers out there. So with my boxing ability, my length, I think my boxing will definitely take over in the BKFC.
So you're from Colorado. Have you always lived in Colorado?
Yes, that is correct. Born and raised in Colorado.
Born and raised whereabouts?
Commerce City, Colorado.
So did you do a lot of fighting growing up? Was there a lot of fighting in school, or is this just something you started doing for like a hobby?
Yeah, I was hanging around the wrong crowd when I was younger, and got in some trouble. And one of my best friends just told me, "Hey, come try out this gym with me." And it was once a week, and I got really good at it. And the coaches started telling me, "You got some potential, and let's go ahead and get you a fight." And I sure did. I lost my first fight. I got TKO'd in the second round, and I don't know what it was since then. I just didn't want to feel that feeling again, and just kept going and never really stopped.
So being knocked out was kind of like that motivator. Did you say were you knocked out cold, or did you?
It was a technical knockout. I've never been
Yeah.
knocked out. Thank God. Hopefully, it never happens. And it was a TKO. And a couple years later, I ended up training, and I ended up beating that same individual that TKO'd me.
Nice. Must have felt good.
Yeah, felt great.
Little revenge. When you made your debut for the BKFC against it was Brett Hudson, right? Real stocky, tattooed up, jacked up dude. You made it look very easy that night. He was biting on every feint you threw. You were peppering him with jabs. If you weren't hitting him with a jab, you were hitting him in the body. Did it go did it go a little easier than you thought it was going to go when you made your debut over here?
If I'm being honest, Brett Hudson was just a hard head. If the refs and if the ref wouldn't have taken him to the corner to get that cut checked, he would have kept coming. I think it would have lasted all 5 rounds. Just because he's a tough individual, and nobody likes to go down. And if all these fighters, if all the refs let them continue and they didn't do their job, I'm sure we would, just because it's in our hearts. But cuts in this game is a lot different. So to answer that question, I didn't expect it, but I was prepared for it.
I mean, I think it's safe to say, though, if it did go all 5, it wouldn't have been any different than the next few rounds. You know what I mean?
No,
Like you were in 100% control of that fight the whole time. That's why I was saying, man, like that must have been a breath of fresh air when you walked out of there that night and be like, man, that went all as planned. You know what I'm saying? That had to be a good feeling for you.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the greatest feelings.
Did you have being from Colorado, did you have a huge crowd behind you there? Did you have a lot of friends and family in the house that night?
Surprisingly, I did. When I was promoting the fight, everybody was asking me, why the hell am I doing this? My own mom said she wasn't going to go. My grandma said she wasn't going to go. So I really...
That was their way of trying to get you to rethink what you were doing. Like, you know what? You're not going to go. Maybe I won't do this.
Yeah. So when I put in the order for the tickets, I didn't get that many tickets. And turns out I didn't even really try to promote, and everybody was just hitting me up. My mom ended up going. My grandma ended up going. Everybody went. Plus, honestly, I felt like more people went and more people showed support. That
when Cyrus at the end asked, who are you here to see? I mean, they went pretty nuts.
Oh yeah, the whole arena, they were separated everywhere as well. So it was great. It was a great feeling.
And also, like Denver, Colorado, and Mike and I say this a lot, Denver is one of the best spots to go see some fights, no matter what kind of fights you're going to see. If they're boxing, they're MMA, they're BKFC, Denver comes out. They love their fight. They love fighting out there in Denver, and they love to come out and fill the house up. And the energy is always like top notch. It's always a great time out in Denver.
That's true. The fight scene ain't that big out here, but when there is fights, we do get a lot of support.
Yeah,
I feel like you got a decent fight scene though. Like you have some decent fighters out there. Have you been to the prior BKFC events that were there, like the Richmond versus Doolittle? How about BKFC 41? Probably the biggest event in my mind. That has happened.
I did go to the 2 that were at the First Bank Center,
yep.
And that even then I had people asking me would I ever do that, and I said hell no, I would never do that. And here I am a couple years later doing that shit.
So you were at BKFC 41 then, when the one that it was Perry versus Rockhold.
That's correct.
How crazy was that? Because we talk about how great that was, and Dave Feldman was on our 300th episode, which was a couple episodes ago, and we were talking about, we had asked him like what fight nights does he think were, or what cards were the best ones that really elevated BKFC, and that is one of them, and that's the one that we always talk about because Chael Sonnen was there, Rose Namajunas, Cowboy Cerrone, then the fighters, you had Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendez and Perry and Ben Rothwell and Conor McGregor showed up, and like there was just a whole. I couldn't name all the people that were there. There's so many. What did you think about that event?
It was actually really crazy, and I actually left right before Conor McGregor showed up. I ended up I don't even know what happened. I ended up having to do something with the fam.
Wow!
And I saw all the highlights on the phone, and I was like, oh shoot, I missed it. But other than that, up to that point, like I said, I was just watching as a boxing guy. And just thinking how crazy it is.
And right before you left, you got to watch Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendez throw down for 5 straight rounds. And Because if you left right before, oh no, Connor came.
Yeah, that happened
so
after.
You left
You left
early.
at
Oh
the
my
Beck
God.
Rawlings fight.
You missed the.
I did miss the best of it. I ain't even gonna lie.
Wow, dude, that Eddie Alvarez Chad Mendez fight is like a top 10 all time BKFC fight in my eyes. That was a absolute freaking slugfest
Barn burner.
between a former UFC champion and a former UFC title challenger. That thing was out of control. Now talking about that there, we'll just transition right into your upcoming fight. You're fighting a guy that came over from the UFC and from PFL, extensive MMA background. He's got a lot of experience under his belt in a different sport. Obviously, you come from boxing, he comes from MMA. Are you expecting a much different fight this time around than you had against Hudson when you step in there with CD3?
Most definitely. I am expecting a tougher opponent coming in. Anything could happen in the fight. I'm not assuming his style based off of other fights. Same thing with me. Everybody's going to look at my last fight and say, oh, he's going to fight just like that. Well, they're wrong. I'm going to come out different. So I can't really tell how he's going to come out, but I do know he's going to be a lot more tougher. He actually has a lot of fights. If you can make it to the UFC, even if I think they kicked him out of the UFC or whatever. But even if you could get up there, like, you got to be a tough motherfucker,
Oh yeah.
And that's what I want. I want the best, and I'm not gonna cause certain thing, but I will get the job done.
When you come into bare knuckle from traditional boxing, obviously you have the hand speed and the footwork and everything that comes with boxing. Are you taking the gloves off in training camp and working more on the grappling, clinch aspect of it, because that isn't quite something that you do all the time when you have the gloves on? Are you putting a little more focus into that? Because the guys that come over from MMA, that's why they succeed a lot, because they get into the clinch and do the dirty boxing in MMA, so you kind of transition right over.
Yeah, most definitely. So my last camp, that was one of the main things we focused. We knew we could box. We knew we were the taller fighter, and it's a whole new game. I thought because I know how to fight, because I could do 10 rounds in sparring, this is easy. I had one of my coaches, just run at me, and I was trying to grapple them. I got tired in like a minute. I ain't even gonna lie. It's a whole different game. It's a whole new stamina that you have to get used to. So without a doubt, that is one thing we will be working on this camp, especially fighting a UFC fighter who's comfortable in that aspect.
Oh, dude, if you've never done jiu-jitsu or wrestled in your life, you will learn quick, and I'm sure you have. If you started training it a little bit, that is a different kind of cardio. That'll, like you just said, that'll smoke you quick. If you don't know how to pace yourself and control your breathing and whatnot, man, when I first started, I used to be a wrestler in high school. Then I took I graduated high school 24 years ago, and 18 years after I graduated high school, I decided to do jiu-jitsu. And I had this wrestling mentality of just balls to the wall, red line it the entire fucking time and try to muscle my way to a tap or a submission or whatever. I would gas myself out in a fucking minute and a half every single time. I'd be dead on the mat. I had to learn quick. So have you experienced a little bit of that?
Yeah, I wrestled throughout middle school. I was a fat little kid, so I was always getting beat up, and yeah, there's a reason why I didn't stick to it.
It's a different kind of cardio for sure, and those guys do well over here in this sport. But you did great in your first fight, and now you go out there against this guy, CD3, Carl Deaton III, and you go out there and get another victory and move to 2-0 in the 155-pound division at 22 years old. You're going to be a guy who's on their radar big time. They're going to want to market you. They're going to want to put you in there with a bigger name again, because Carl Deaton III is a name already. You get that win on your belt, under your belt, you're up for bigger names. Is there people in that 155 division that attract you? You look at these guys like a HD Davis or a Bryce Henry or someone like that, who are also young fighters. Bryce almost is pretty close to your age himself. Do these guys attract you? Like, you want these guys, or are you willing to just fight whoever they throw in front of you until you make your way up there?
Most definitely, I'm ready to fight whoever. So when I beat the Carl DN, however you pronounce his name, so when I beat him, whoever they throw at me, I'm ready for. If it's one of the top 5 contenders, it don't matter. I'm here for one reason, and that's to get the title. So it don't matter if somebody falls out on a big fight, and I'm ready and I'm on way. I'll definitely step up and take the fight. I'm not here for no easy fight. So whoever, like I said it before, whoever wants it can get it.
Wow, man. I think that you got a bright future here. A win over him would be huge for you, and that would be 2 wins this year alone. And I think that you'll learn that the BKFC will keep you active as long as you're healthy and you're willing and you're winning. I mean, they'll keep lining them up for you for sure, because you get some guys that fight 4 or 5 times a year. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm here for it all. So I'm still hoping to get a couple boxing matches in between. So I'm hoping every 3-4 months I'll be doing a bare knuckle fight. As long as I'm healthy, I'm healed up, and I'm ready to get the ball rolling.
So once you get that ball rolling, right? You've been fighting in Denver. Where do you want to fight? Where's your like ideal location, your dream spot that you want to fight?
So I fought BKFC in Denver, but I fought boxing all over the world throughout the amateurs. My last few pro fights, I've been Texas, West Virginia, multiple places. Honestly, it don't matter. I just want to be the one,
Yeah.
the one on top.
What about Marbella, Spain? What do you think about that?
That would be yeah. I guess I should have said that too. Watching all the upcoming fights coming up over there, it's just crazy. I guess I've never been out of the country for a fight, so I guess that would be to answer your question, is out of the country somewhere.
So you're going to be watching the fights next week?
Yeah, most definitely.
You have any picks for any of the fights? You have anybody that you like to watch?
That's Soto's gonna fight on that card. I'll be watching that one.
Yeah. Soto, you got Dave Mundell on there.
You got Austin Trout.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some good fights. It's kind of hard to pretty much predict on there because it's just anything can happen. All it takes is one shot, somebody coming in a little too aggressive and just get hit in the right spots. It's so hard just to say, like, I want this guy to win or this is what's going to happen, because even in some boxing matches, like, I don't know if you guys keep up with this, like last week, Kid Kansas fought a very, he was supposed to win, just got clipped on the right hit and got knocked out,
Yeah.
All it takes is one hit, so it's just very hard to predict on these fights.
It definitely, especially in this sport too. Like you just said, all it takes is one shot in a boxing match too, but all it takes is one jab in this, and you could cut someone's eyebrow open or eyelid open with a jab, and next thing you know, the doctor's stopping it. So you can really end a fight quick if you hit them precisely just right in this one with no gloves on. You know what I mean? With a sharp knuckle, it could end fucking very quickly.
Most definitely.
And if you saw the show last week, when David Feldman was on, we asked him. You said that you're interested in fighting outside the country. He said that in 2025, they will be in Italy, in Ireland, in Hungary, a couple spots in South America they're talking to, and they're going to be doing a huge event in the Middle East, probably in one of those, one of the probably Dubai or
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, one of those. They're going to be in that area.
Wasn't there an Australia mentioned at some point?
He said they're 100%. He said we're almost 100% going to Australia as well. So
that's crazy,
dude. That's 5 or 6 fight cards outside of the United States that you could possibly find yourself on if you play your cards right. So best of luck to you on October 25th. We're excited to watch you fight, man. You impressed the shit out of everybody that first time out. You're fighting an absolute tough fighter out of the long MMA background. CD3 is no joke. Going to be a tough night for you, but you go out there and get that win. The sky's the limit for you. We're going to give you a second here. You could say anything you want to anybody that's paying attention, any shout outs or anything, and then we'll let you go.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. I truly appreciate it, allowing me to come up here and talk about my upcoming fight. And just want to thank all my sponsors. I'm not going to say them all because there's a lot, but you guys know who you are. Family and friends, anybody who's watching, I appreciate you guys. And October 25th, it is going to be a hard fight, but no matter what, the job will get done. So appreciate you guys.
There it is. Thank you so much. Mike, you got anything else for Ramiro?
Yes, once again, October 25th, Figueroa versus Deaton the Third, the lightweight bout, BKFC 67 in Denver. We love Denver. We love Denver. Some great fighters out of there, and you're just another one, right? You're another great fighter out of Denver. You got a long road ahead of you. You're only 22, man. Can't wait to see what you bring to the squared circle. Thanks for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. Everybody else, stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll be joined by Andrew Strode. Take care, man.
Thanks, Ramiro.
Well,
See ya.
Bullfighting, bare knuckle fighting, it goes hand in hand, man. This is going to be unbelievable.
Prides himself on a very aggressive style.
I got brought into this game to lose, and all I've done is flourish and win.
That is ruled as a knockdown. Rico Franco, though, really sent a message with that win. We might be done, and we are.
Oh, look at that left hand.
Of the newest and most exciting addition to the combat sports universe, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, baby.
How does it feel to be a part of such an established name in bare knuckle fighting now with Conor McGregor? Look at that card, and you're on the next card after that. How does that feel?
It feels great. I'm ready. I'm ready to be toe the line. I'm ready. I've been waiting the whole year, and I'm ready.
Andrew, what has taken you so long to get back in the squared circle, man? Is it a matter of you having things going on, or people don't want to fight you? What is it? Because you had a nice scrap against Kerry Caprio the first time we saw you out there. I think you were booked to fight Chancey once before, and something fell through, and he ended up fighting Dagoberto. But what's the long layoff? We've been wanting to watch you fight.
I've been asking to fight anybody at 125. I heard people been from Nate. I've been hearing people that was declining me. But I'm grateful that Wilson stepped up, and I know he's a tough competitor, and I know he's gonna bring what he always brings, his A game. And I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to show my talents again. That was just nothing. I got impressive moves and stuff to show you guys now.
Dude, it's got to be aggravating especially got to be aggravating, right? But it's also got do you feel a little bit of sense of respect? Like these fuckers they're afraid to fight me. So, you know what I mean? Obviously they respect my ass because they don't want to fight me. Do you ever get that kind of feeling, or is it just frustration all the way through?
It's just frustration all the way through, because with boxing too, I fought all the people like Shakir and all the people, top fighters that are now world champions, and it's always been that people were not afraid, but it was how the fight game goes. So it's it's been really hard to find fights my whole life, but now, and I came to BKFC and I was like, hey, maybe they won't be afraid, and I don't know what happened with all that, but I'm ready. You know what I mean? It's frustrating, but I know my time's gonna come soon. Where people can't avoid me.
The first time you came on here, I think you shocked everybody that wasn't familiar with you on how many fights you have had coming up through glove boxing. You had all this tons of experience. You just talked about some of the names that you fought. And then you came over to bare knuckle. Talk about the first experience over in bare knuckle after having such a long boxing stint.
when I first came to bare knuckle, when I was about to fight, warming up in the back, I was like, okay, man, this is getting so real. I don't know. And then like it just came like natural to me. Like I felt way better than boxing. Boxing, I feel like you just like it's like more of a sport. This is like a grown man sport, you know, more savage. You know what I mean? Like for the real dogs, like everybody explains. And I feel like boxing it wasn't for me, you know what I mean? I was like it was came to a point where I was 12-time national champ. I took third in the Olympic trials qualifiers, and I was like more politics and like all this and that, but I just feel like I was made for bare knuckle. And the first time fighting in BKFC 50 in Denver, like being the featured first fighting Caprio, it was like a great fight, and I really loved it. I never really like knew that it would have been this great. I would have signed up and took that when it's all started if I knew that. You know what I mean?
It's like it doesn't surprise me at all that you say this because you wouldn't believe how many fighters come from boxing or come from like MMA or wherever and say that same thing when they first were coming in. They weren't quite sure how they were going to feel about it. This is such a savage sport, and after that first fight, almost every single one of them. There's a few exceptions. Luke Rockhold, I think he said he'll never do this again. Greg Hardy said he'll never do it again. But even some of the people that had lost in their first fight here were like, man, I lost, but I had a fucking blast. I loved every second of this. I'm coming back. And you just said the same thing. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I love BKFC. Honestly, I'm so grateful for David Feldman and everybody. You guys also giving me a shot to showcase my talent, because like I was getting like after my son passed away and my ex, like my mother and my child, I was like, I'm not doing fighting no more. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm totally done. But you guys gave me a chance and extra motivation to fight for never, you know, the saying I always say, never give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like when you told us that story, that would make a lot of people, take a step back from the journey that they're on in life. When you go through a tragedy like you did, I can't even imagine what you were going through there. And you like went through a little skid in your career at that point because obviously you had all that baggage going on. Now, how many years has it been? A couple years since that happened, right? 2
Yeah, a
years?
couple years, 2.5, almost 3 years.
Yeah. How are things with you right now in life, right? Since the tragedy.
I'm doing a lot better. You know, it's still hard every day. You know what I mean? I also have a newborn daughter that's here now. So it's like
Congratulations.
I gotta live for her, you know what I mean? I can't just be like, oh, just throw it away. You know what I mean? I still got nephews and brothers and sisters that rely on me, and like I feel like I'm the prize in the family to make sure we get above float. You know what I mean? I can't let it down. Even the people in
Congratulations.
heaven.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations on the new baby. That's amazing. There's like nothing better than seeing that little face. You know what I mean? We have some people around us at work that have recently had babies, and they're always showing us pictures and shit at work, and I love seeing them. My kids are 13 and 10 now, so it's been a long time since I had a little one in my arms.
Yeah, I think I saw Andrew. Your daughter is what, 2 months or
4 months.
4 now? Okay, so the last picture I saw said 2 months in. Yeah, man. She's lucky to have a father like you that is going to push to give her a great life, no matter what life throws in his way. So that's very commendable. So definitely love that. And, that's why the people that are watching right now, they get behind you because, like, people live through you. They see what you're doing, and it gives them motivation for their life, for what they're doing. There are people watching, Russ Maxim, for instance, Russ from Extreme BK Fans, right?
Yes.
Russ is going through a cancer journey. It's not a secret, and you give him inspiration and you give me inspiration. So, cheers to that.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean, it's stuff gets hard, you know what I mean, like, and I know a lot of people say that, but like I've been through a lot, like even like with Russ situation. My mom had cancer when she had me, and I was 5 months premature in the womb when she was having cancer, and she just beat it last year again for a second time. And I'm like, and then I give her motivation, you know what I mean, same as Russ, you know what I mean. I'm like, this is life, you know what I mean. We go through obstacles, but I know we could beat it, you know what I mean. it's
Mm-hmm.
Life is bigger than this, you know what I mean. This is just a force field in our way that we could remove and get out the way to be great.
Wow. So you came from a fighter, and you were fighting from day one. That's incredible, man. You're definitely an inspirational fighter for sure. And fuck cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck cancer.
Man, wow. That's awesome. I think like Mike just said, I think you have a lot of fans, a lot of people that are really rooting for you. And now you're in and now they're going to be rooting for you when you go in there against a tough little guy, man. Chancey Wilson's is a stud, and he fights fucking everybody. You know, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He does
That
fight
guy,
everyone.
that guy fights everybody. He fights all the top guys, and you have plenty of footage to watch and study your upcoming opponent. Um, Not talking about his fight style. Are you a fan of Chancey Wilson? Do you like Chancey? Have you watched
Yeah.
his fights coming up?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Chancey Wilson. Yeah, mutual respect. You know what I mean. I'm a fighter that's very humble. You know what I mean. Like everybody has a skill to win. You know what I mean. It's how bad you want it, and I see he wants it as bad as me. You know what I mean. So we're like in the same, and this is gonna be like me beating him is gonna be the next step for me to show what I could do in the sport. You know what I mean? Because he is. I notice everybody that fights him fights for the belt for like
Right.
John Dotson and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm really gotta showcase my talent and show people like what I'm really about.
You aren't kidding, because I'm pulling up his record right now, just so I'm not, because he fought Dagoberto Aguero, and he just fought John Dotson. He fought J.R. Rodriguez. He fought for the title. Tyler Randall has been a top fiver the entire time he's been in that division. Um, so yeah, he fights all he fought Nico Hernandez, which is fucking incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, I know Nico. We used to be in the same brackets and amateur boxing all the time, so I familiar with him. He used to be always in my weight.
So you got to have nothing but respect for what Chancey's done so far. But with that being said, you've seen him fight all these guys. You're more of a almost like a Dagoberto style fighter, traditional boxer, lankier, taller than everyone's taller than Chancey, so I shouldn't even say that. But
Sorry,
when
Chance.
yeah, sorry, Chancey. We love you, Chancey. We've had so many good times with Chancey. He's a freaking awesome guy. You've seen him all. You've seen them all. You got your training camp going right now. How do you see the fight between you and Chancey going on the 25th?
It's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a good fight. I don't doubt his things, but I'm ready to bring whatever he's bringing. You know what I mean? I have the Pokemon duel for his card. You know what I mean? I'm here to place my hand, my bet, my knuckles on 100% on me. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter and he's gonna bring it, but I feel like. I'm gonna bring it this time. I'm not gonna be like boxing this time. I'm gonna really bring it because I know how he fights and I know what he's gonna bring. So I'm ready.
You mentioned Pokemon there. Did you know that Kasim Ruffin walked out to the Pokemon theme song in Norfolk, Virginia? That's what that
Yeah.
reminded me of. And he came out, and to be honest, it was a massive hit with the crowd. He
Yeah.
came out to that, I want to be the very best. Like every single person in the crowd starts singing this thing. I mean, at least 50%. I mean, that's a lot of people singing. Like
Yeah.
that is crazy. I was like, holy shit, this Pokemon song was a great idea. Like people fucking love that.
Yeah, my cousin's a big fan of Pokemon. That's where I learned it all from. I'm not big on it, but I heard the songs numerous times.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing what a good walkout song will do with the energy of the crowd, man. You get the
Right.
crowd going. Now you're going to be in Denver again. You're a Denver guy. You gonna have a bunch of friends and family out there with you?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna bring a lot of people with me, just like last time. Because my family's bigger, really family oriented. You know what I mean? We do everything together. You know what I mean? So it's like they're always gonna support me. Shout out to my dad. My dad, Andre Strode. He's a police officer in the Denver area, and he always been like taking care of me, make sure I'm good, you know what I mean? Not like as a father figure, you know what I mean, and showing me how to uh hard work is everything. That's what he taught me.
Is he still a cop right now?
Yes, he is.
Hmm. He probably I wonder if he reported. No, I'm just joking. I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Did he ever report to a BKFC after party at any point? And no.
Nah.
Nah.
No, he was actually last time I was fighting. He was actually in the crowd with my mother and my sisters and all, just enjoying it because he didn't know what BKFC was gonna be about. But now my
He
father always been my trainer for boxing. You know what I mean, my number one trainer, and he will be in my corner this time, training me.
nice. What did he think about the sport? Like you said, you didn't really know. He didn't really know what it was about when he went there and saw it. So he had never seen it on TV. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
he was new, all new to it. He didn't. He
Okay,
just like was.
so his first taste of this sport was live.
Yeah, live.
Did he fall in love with it? Did he love
Yeah,
it that night?
he loved it. He loved it. He was like, "Oh, he." The first thing I told him when I left the back to go give him a hug, and everybody congratulated me. He was like, "I heard them hits. It was loud." And my little sister, were the whole time at the fights, because you could hear the hits. It's, you know what I mean. It's like the excitement is too good. You know what I mean. Too good to not. Oh yeah.
We say it to everybody. We say it to everybody. Like obviously we do this show twice a week, every week for 4 years now. We just passed our 300th episode. So we do enough talking on here, telling people to make sure you're tuned in, make sure you're tuning in. But we make it a point to say that if it is in your area, go see it live because it is a different experience live. We've been to so many different combat sports events.
Mhm.
Mike and I, the first time we covered an event live, we had watched these on TV and we loved what we saw on TV.
Right.
When we got to Florida and we walked in there, we saw the first bare knuckles cracking skin in front of us. Mike and I were like, "Whoa, this is pretty
Yeah,
different. This is
it's
something
not.
else. This is
This
something
is
else."
something not a lot of people have witnessed at that point in time. Maybe hundreds of people, but maybe even that. But at that point, it was like it's newish. Like
Mhm.
people underground knew about it, but not a lot of people have been to live bare knuckle events in the grand scheme of things. So we're like, man, this shit's crazy. Like this is way too much fun. This is so much fun and it's so fast paced. And I don't feel like I'm ready to fall asleep or I don't want to talk to somebody for 45 minutes straight, right through a fight or two. Because sometimes that happens. I love UFC. I love watching UFC. I love MMA. I just like watching any combat sport. I've always been that way. But admittingly, it's very easy for me to stop watching MMA. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if we have even a pay-per-view event, we just drop friggin' $75 on an event to watch and we've got friends around. Only the real like important fights will draw everybody in. All the other filler fights, I'll start watching and I'll be like, oh, hey, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. And next thing I know, 2-3 friggin' fights went by and I don't even care sometimes. Like I'm like, oh, whatever, 2 hours, whatever. For this, though, it's like 2 hours. You're going to miss like 8 fights. You're going to miss 8 fights. You're going to be like, wait, what the hell happened? If you're paying attention, you're just seeing knockout after knockout, a huge, massive cut, blood everywhere, fight stop, another knockout. Like it's like fucking one after another. It's so fast paced, so wild. Yeah, when we saw it the first time, we were like, this is going to be a hit. I don't know how people can't like this.
You know when that was? It was their 16th event. Mike and I went to their 16th event, and they just had their 100th. And their 101st event is going to be in an open air bullfighting arena in fucking Spain next week. It's so crazy, like how far it's come along. It's obviously something special with this sport. And you said it yourself. You fell in love with it. Your dad fell in love with it. You get to go back out there for the second time finally on October 25th against Chancey Wilson. It's got to be a good feeling to be back, you know?
Yeah, and I tell everybody, I said BKFC is gonna be the biggest in no later than 5 years, like bigger than UFC, bigger than boxing. Everybody's gonna tune in because it's like there's no way you can't. You know what I mean? It's the best sport. I believe in my heart, the best sport ever, by
It
far.
is, and like we have said it a million times on this show too, right, Mike? It's the oldest sport on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's the oldest, it started when the first caveman punched another caveman in the face, trying to take food or a woman away. You know what I'm saying? Like, a fist fight is the oldest form of sport, probably. Maybe running.
I'm sure fighting probably came before that, though.
Yeah.
I bet you people were fighting over like crops and friggin' and women.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Like land. That's all people care about, man. So
right.
shit, they didn't come up with racing against each other. Like, what the hell is the point of that? I'm getting nothing out of it.
Right.
You know, like there's nothing. Now we have an abundance of things. Now people start racing each other for stuff. They're like, yeah, let's race each other.
No, come on. Now, hey, we had a question in the audience here, and I lost it, but it was basically asking who you would be interested in the 125-pound division. Now that you're back, you go out and you get a win over Chancey. Chancey is a constantly in the top 5. So a win over Chancey Wilson puts you right in that conversation to fight some of these top fivers. There is the Tyler Randalls, the Rambo LaFleurs. There is Dagoberto Aguero, who fought Dotson to a draw. I would imagine they run that one back. That would be a nice fight for you. Is there any of these guys? They just signed Nate Maness from the UFC. He's going to fight in the 125. So there's a lot of guys coming in there. Is there anybody that has your eye heading into this fight with Chancey?
No, not really nobody, but whoever BKFC throws to me, I'll never decline a fight. You know what I mean? But I'll be interested, honestly, in fighting John Dotson down the road. That'll be like a superhero fight to me.
That'd be awesome.
Dotson's a beast. Now let me ask you this: being a guy who with so much experience under your belt and having stepped in there once, you got to watch that Dotson Aguero fight. It went to a draw. We believe it should have went to a 6th round because that is the beauty of this sport. Usually it goes, especially championship fights, they go to a 6th round. We do believe that the Athletic Commission in Albuquerque pulled a fucking fast one that night. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they decided in the moment that we're not doing 6 rounds in this state. You know, I think
it was horrible. We were like, man, this is supposed to be 6 rounds right here. That shit was tied. There was no such thing as a draw in a main event title fight. What the hell's going on?
That's one of their big claims to fame over here in bare knuckle is like, you will not see a draw in a title fight in this sport. They go to it. So
is that just Albuquerque?
So that's what that night. After in that night, we were scoring it ourselves, and we're like, man, if Dotson wins his 5th round, it's a draw with the knockdowns and whatnot. It's a draw, and they will go to a 6th round. And we had some people in the fans.
We convinced everybody around
the people sitting right next to us in the crowd. Like, we were standing next to these guys, and they're like, no, it's going to be a draw. I was like, no. You don't know about this sport. It's going to be a 6th round. And Mike's like, yeah, they don't do draws and title fights. So we were like, it's going to be a 6. Just calm down. It'll be a 6. And we're like, just wait. They're going to announce it real soon. And we're like sitting there, and like minutes goes by, and we're like, what the fuck is taking so long? It's clearly a draw. It's got to go to a 6. What are they doing here? And then all of a sudden, both fighters are in the middle of the ring with Jeff Houston, and we're like, what the fuck is happening here? And then they announce This fight
It's
is
a draw.
but Shorty Draw, we're like, well, fuck us. We totally just lied to you guys. I don't know what that
Yeah.
was about. We
Those are the
asked,
rules, I promise you.
yeah, immediately after the event, we're like talking to the brass and we're like trying to find out why, and they're like, no, we were gonna do a 6th round, but the athletic commission said no, we don't do 6 in this state. I was like, I think
How whack.
so.
Yeah, pretty whack.
It was whack as fuck. With that said, you watched the fight. You watched the fight. You want to fight Dotson. You probably
Right.
would fight Aguero as well. What were your thoughts in that? Were you surprised at how well Aguero did against Dotson in that?
No. That's the thing. No, I wasn't surprised. I know he's long and he's a Cuban style boxer, so he likes to keep on the outside and puncher box, if you know what I mean. And I know Dotson's quick on his feet. He comes in explosive shots, and I know Guerra was game plan was stay on the outside and catch him, and John Dotson was vice versa. So I was like, I was knew that was gonna happen, but I didn't know the decision was gonna happen. So I just like think like me thinking in the ring. You know what I mean? I could do two ways. I could pressure you, and I could outbox you. So it's like I could do either or. I'm a brawler, boxer, whatever the my opponent brings. So I knew it was coming. I had over 175 fights. No, I've been sparring. Probably had a million sparring matches in practice. So you know, I mean, heavyweights to 125. Cause and like back in the day when I was like in amateur boxing, I was the smallest kid in my gym. So I had to fight 140 pounders and 150s, 165s, and they're taking it to me.
So the amount of reps that you have in the sport is fucking astronomical. It's crazy. Like I love seeing guys like you. Like there's 2 heavyweights right now, and their names are, but they're gonna fight each other soon. One of them has like 390 amateur fights, and the other one, and right now he's like 23-0 as a pro. And the other guy has like 297. His like amateur record was like 297-3, and he's like 19-0 right now in pro. And I'm like, these fucking 2 dudes have 600-700 fights between the 2 of them. It just blows my freaking mind the amount of reps, like you just said, how many sparring rounds they have, how many freaking camps they've been in. It just incredible, man. That shit is crazy. It is your life.
Yeah, I've been fighting my whole life, so it's like eat or get eaten to me. You know what I mean?
It's fucking nuts. And one more question from the audience. They're asking, can you fight? You just said you fought 140s and 155ers before, but would you fight 135 in BKFC?
Yeah, I'll fight 135.
Is that about as high as you'd go, or would you even
Yeah,
go 145?
I would have to get bigger, you know what I mean, to fight up there, because, you know what I mean, everybody's, like, big to me, you know what I mean? I'm just a skinny, scrawny dude that hits
Yeah.
hard.
You'd have
You
to
know
get
what I
on
mean?
that Liver King diet.
Yeah. Start
Yeah.
eating pack of wolves.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's good to have you back, Andrew. We're excited to see you out there. We're not going to be in Denver because we have other plans going on, and Mike actually has army shit going on that weekend. So
Oh,
we won't be out there
congratulations.
in person, but we will be watching like we always do, and we'll be rooting for both you guys because we like everybody. And Chancey's a stud, you're a stud. It's going to be a fight of the night contender, I think. Before we finish up with you, would you like to take a minute and shout anybody out, say any thanks or whatever? It's yours for a minute. Go ahead.
First off, I want to thank you guys for inviting me to this, you know what I mean, your podcast and everything. It means a lot to me, you know what I mean? I know people always give you recognition, but I want to sincerely say thank you for allowing me on your podcast and welcoming me with a good heart, you know what I mean? Because there's not that many good people out there. And also, I want to thank David Feldman, BKFC, for signing me. And it's going to be, you're going to see this face a long time and you're gonna be one of the greatest in the sport. And I put my heart to it. I just left the gym, and I'm at my sister's house because I'm like driving. My gym's like an hour away, but I had to stop at my sister's house because my baby was crying. So to do this podcast, but like I want to thank everybody, thank all the viewers. You know what I mean, and Team Strode. You know what I mean. You're gonna hear my name a lot.
And that's right. Thank you so much for that. You just signed a multi-fight deal, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we will be seeing a lot of you. Thank you so much for that,
Yes.
Andrew. It's great talking to you, and we will be tuned in. Mike, what else you got for Andrew Strode?
Thank you for coming on. I know you gave us some props there, but we're giving you the props. You deserve the props, man. You're putting in the hard work. You're getting in there. You're doing it. You've got all us watching. I can't wait till your fight. It's been a long time. It's been too long. You know, we were looking forward to your first fight happen, and then, oh my God, where the hell did Andrew Strode go? Where the hell is he? Here he is, right here. He's about to fight again, and we're all gonna see him. Strode versus Wilson, October 25th. Do not miss it. BKFC 67 in Denver, baby.
Yeah,
Wish we
let's
could be there.
go.
Love Denver. Love Denver. We do love Denver. Head over to Tom's Watch Bar. We know those guys over there. They'll throw a nice after party for you. Usually Chris Camozzi has a party over there. So if you're not doing anything after the fight, so head over to Tom's Watch Bar in McGregor Square. Place is awesome. I'm not kidding, too. The place is great.
Yeah, it's great.
Usually they do an after party for Camozzi on the second floor, so I'm sure he would love
Hey,
that.
listen, if Camozzi walks out of there with a belt that night, it might be one of the biggest parties of the year over there at the McGregor Square. So you might want to check that out. Little combo party.
Yep. So, but yes, thank you so much for coming on. We will be watching your fight. Everybody else will be watching too. You're welcome back anytime, buddy. Take care. And everybody else, stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to chit chat for a little bit. And right now, let's listen to the president of the BKFC, David Feldman. Take it
later,
easy,
Andrew. See
you. Have a good night.
Bye.
What I'm going to do personally is I'm going to start a GoFundMe, and we're going to raise up to $20,000 for it. And I'm going to match that $20,000.
You kidding me?
Yeah, I'll match that personally. So whatever, if we can raise 20,000, I'll match the 20,000 and we'll distribute it to the people that are inside of our organization or outside of our organization as fans that got affected by the hurricane, and we'll help them out.
Absolutely awesome. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I mean, I'm wearing the shirt because we got a lot of people down there. The BKFC Tampa shirt. I thought that would be a little tribute to you guys down there that are battling through it right now. And a lot of people are helping out. There's GoFundMe pages out there. David Feldman has that one. Going to match up to $20,000. Chachi Versace has one. Crystal and Jared have one. The link for Chachi's is in our description right now. So go down in the description, just click on it. You can help him out. The BKFC one is on their page, and Crystal's and Jared's is in our story right now as well as on their page. So, you know, help those in the BKFC in the family out. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely a great cause. So got to do it. Got to do it.
That's right.
So do it now.
Hey,
do it
man,
in 5 minutes.
Do it right now. And
no, open up a second screen. Damn it. Everybody's got a couple screens.
Those fucking hurricanes,
wait.
dude, it's incredible the damage that they will do. It is incredible. Like, my parents have the house in Cape Coral, down by Big Ben and Tito Ortiz. You know, they're gonna have a potty. They're gonna have a potty down there. Matter of fact, I believe they're gonna be having a watch party for the October 25th event at Tito's Cantina. So if you guys are down there, go to Tito's Cantina, watch Andrew Strode and Ramiro Figueroa fight their fights while having a cocktail with Big Ben and Tito Ortiz. How fucking cool would that be?
That would be absolutely phenomenal. And it would help some people take their mind off of life for a little while, right? Because that's what people need. They need to escape life every now and then. and especially now with the hurricane and stuff. So get over there and have some fun.
It is wild. I mean, it is like catastrophic is the word for it. It is fucking crazy the amount of damage that these hurricanes do, and a lot of people are battling through it right now. So help them out if you can help them, Mike. We don't have a show tomorrow night, so I think we should talk a little bit about the Marbella Spain card that is next week.
Yes, the one that's going to be in this arena.
That's going to be in that open air bullfighting arena in beautiful Marbella, Spain. Look at that place. Look
It's water
at
over
that.
there.
Mike, that's a destination. That's one of those like destination spots where it's beautiful everywhere and people are, dressed high end and fucking have a good time till the late hours of the night in beautiful weather and party and fucking go to open air bullfighting arenas and watch events. That is something. Huh, Mike?
It's pretty insane, actually. The fact the matter too is even after the fights, they're gonna have a freaking concert. So I don't know what time this thing's going till, but they added Bone Thugs and Harmony to that list. They're not even on the poster.
Oh, dude.
And they're the biggest performers there.
Bone Thugs and Harmony is a big part of my teenage life. East 1999 Eternal was the record for me. Like that was the album that turned me into like a massive fan. Like before that, they had Creepin' on a Come Up, which we had like for the Love of Money and Thuggish Ruggish Bone. Those songs were on there. But it wasn't until like East 1999 Eternal, First of the Month, Crossroads, Mo Murda, like those songs, Buddha Lovers, those like, oh my fucking God.
Luigi.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And now these guys are going to be out there. And guess what else, Mike?
What else?
We're going to be out there. Boom. Check that out, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, your boys will be in Marbella, Spain next week. Team America. Fuck yeah. Let's go. We're going to go there and we're going to have the best time of our life. We're going to create some of the greatest. Shout out, let's go, boy. We're going to create some of the greatest content that the bare knuckle world has ever seen.
No pressure.
I know. Listen, I don't think it's going to be too hard to create this content, Mike. I think there's going to be so much shit going on that all we got to do is have the cameras rolling, and then everybody's going to enjoy what we see. What do you think about that, Mike?
There's gonna be like crazy things going on there. Other than that, like even before that night, there's a press conference on Thursday. There is the weigh-ins, both the official and the ceremonial, on Friday. However, after that, there is a Rasha VIP party up in a damn mansion on the hills. I mean, we're talking like this is like go to Rasha's Instagram page, okay? And if you look at this hotel, it's like a very modern 2-floor, but kind of up on a hill, so almost like a 3-floor looking with the pool. It's all white window. It's crazy. Go look at this place. Okay, ridiculous. Also, what's happening that same night at the Hard Rock in Marbella is a DJ. I don't even know who it is. I forgot what the name of the DJ was. So forgive me. But Conor McGregor's hosting a party at the Hard Rock Hotel in Marbella, Hard Rock Casino. So that's going on. Then the next day, there's going to be the fights in that open air bullfighting arena. 3 title fights, right? We saw that, followed by a concert with Bone Thugs and Harmony, Exhibit, Kodak Black, a few other people. And then who knows?
It's like Eskimo Supreme.
Eskimo Brothers.
Officia. I listened to his music today, actually, and I wanted to know.
The Officia?
Officia?
Yeah,
he's like a British rapper. He's actually, it actually sounds really good. You know, like the newer rap where there's like dudes with like British accents fucking dropping trap music. That's what this guy kind of is. And it sounds pretty cool. But for me, dude, the fact that we'll be there is fucking insane. I think it's going to be the the best fucking time. I don't know how to put
I
it
kept
into
thinking you were
words.
going to say the bee's knees for a second.
No,
I don't know
it's
why.
it's gonna be like I can't even imagine what's gonna go on, but the fact that, like you just said, those guys are gonna be performing, and we're gonna be there for that, and maybe you'll get to see Busy Bone finally.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been
even
a
though
long time.
it's been a long
I've been
time coming for you.
It's been a long time creeping on a come up, that's for sure.
Creeping on a come up. It's fucking insane. So yeah.
Is Onwell coming?
So before we wrap up tonight, we should talk a little bit about that fight because some things happened in the last couple days, and they announced Howard Davis is going to be out there as an alternate for the main event, which did surprise me. He just fought. Yes, he didn't take any damage. I don't think he got hit in that fight, so he's in shape. He's ready. He's undefeated at like 5-0 at 155. All of a sudden, 1 month after he fights in freaking Miami, he is added to the main event alternate of the biggest event the BKFC has ever put on. What do you think about this announcement, Mike? It came as a surprise to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a business, right? So
Right.
I'm not surprised. I know that this has been common practice now for, like, say, UFC, for instance. They like to have somebody be there just in case. This is a massive card, and not
If
only bare
something was
knuckle,
to
but
happen,
McGregor was in Wembley, like, just telling every single person that would listen about BKFC. If you go back and you just look up Conor McGregor from last week, he was getting interviewed and they'd ask him a question and he would talk about Marbella. Then someone else would be getting interviewed, like Usyk, and he would just interrupt the interview to tell them about Marbella. Like, he was inviting everybody. He's inviting if you
he's
watch
telling the security guards.
He's telling every single person, and it doesn't matter where he is, he's telling people about it. So you're doing that, and you're going to have this big concert, and you're having there's VIP parties by the sponsors, and there's another party at the hotel it's a huge event. So, like, they can't afford to have any of the fights fall off the card at this point. They need to have, especially the main event. So I am very confident that our boy Tony Loco Soto will be there. And I know that Teneglio is going to be there because he lives there. And
Right. I think, like you just said, it's insurance.
Mish,
It's insurance.
And it's going to be Mike, Mish, and Howard for the night. And he's just going to be part of the crew. And we're going to hang out and have a great time because he's going to need something to do. So why not hang out with your boys? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And Tony's in phenomenal shape right now.
Yes.
Tenaglia looks like a fucking Terminator right now. Dave Mundell is at the top of his game, stepping in there with the bastard Danny Christie. That's going to be a fucking slobber knocker, to take a word out of 90s pro wrestling Jim Ross. A slobber knocker. And then you got Austin Trout, probably the most skilled boxer on the roster, the most professional, the most successful professional record on the roster, fighting Rico Franco, who has more bare knuckle experience than most of the people on the fucking roster. So it's like the top 3 fights, and that's not even mentioning there's like 4 or 5 other fucking awesome ones, but the top 3 fights are absolutely phenomenal matchmaking right there, I think. And Dave Mundell's a wet wipe.
Yeah, he's a wet wipe. Yes. This card is amazing. It's going to be really good. There are some cards on some fights on the undercard. The Hannah Rankin, I'm very intrigued by that fight. I want to see how that plays out. Yeah, and you want to know what else? Excuse me. Lou Fuse is going to be there.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so cool.
We'll meet Lou Fuse. So there's a bunch of people that are they live in Europe, right? They live somewhere in Europe. Well, a lot of them in the UK, and we don't get to get them on this podcast. And the main reason being we started our podcast at 9 p.m. and where they are, it's freaking 2 in the morning. So 1, 2 in the morning. Some people come on every now and then, but to get people on before a fight when they're training and they're training to a time, and it's very hard. So like the only time we ever talk to those guys, if we ever have time to like record during the day, like if we do a road trip and we go to Denver or something and we do a daytime thing like that, where we did a show with Fuse and we had on Christy and Terrell. But if it's not happening, then we will be doing day shows eventually, but we're not doing them right now, man. We got families and jobs, and we can only do these Wednesday and Thursday nights, which probably not the most ideal time, but hey, you can catch on the replay. You can replay the show.
We started this show right now at this time because of selfishly is the convenience of our lives, not yours.
Yeah, I mean? I had to do it.
I love the fact that everybody tunes in and hangs out with us twice a week. If we could do it at a more convenient time, we would, but it just doesn't fit into our lives.
It'll happen when my kids listen and they're not a bunch of stew nods running around the house screaming and being so loud. Then daytime shows.
Yeah. So anybody else going to Spain, let us know in the comments section. Who else is going to Spain? I see some people over in on Instagram saying, I don't know who's P-O-L Poljoy 32. Do you know who that is?
Who is it?
Poljoy, Poljoy 32. Poljoy.
Oh yes, we met. That's the
dude from Irish in Miami. We met him at the Hard Rock.
We met him at the Hard Rock. Irish guy. I can't remember his first name, but I do remember that is him.
That's
very
him,
nice guy.
We met him at the Hard Rock. Yeah, super cool guy.
We met him. The Forged Irish Stout people were there, and I can't remember if he said he was working with them or but he is from Ireland,
Hard Rock. He just said he's laughing. He said,
I do remember that,
baby. So he said, hone the boys, see you in Spain. Right. That means we're rallying up, I guess so. Rally the troops. Let's go. Let's fucking go. It's Paul. His name's Paul. God damn it,
Paul.
It's great to meet you there. And now we're gonna run into you again in Spain because this is fucking going down, and I can't wait for it. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to say thank you to our guests of the evening, Ramiro Figueroa and Andrew Strode. Those two guys are very, very interesting prospects in my eyes. Being the people that we are that watch every single second of the sport. When I watched Figueroa fight his first fight against Brett Hudson, I do believe like maybe Hudson was just a tough guy that they threw in there. Nothing against him. They gave Figueroa someone that's just gonna fucking brawl him. This time around, he's fighting a much more skilled fighter, but I was so impressed by him. I could not wait to see him back, and they're bringing him back already. Andrew, on the other hand, it's been too damn long. I'm glad he's coming back. So thank you to both of those guys for coming on. We do have to shout out our sponsors one more time. Get over to buckedup.com, promo code Mike and Mish 20. Get 20% off your total purchase there. Then head over to Dynamic Life. Listen up. That's Lindsay, Jake Lindsay.
Yeah.
For some reason, he sounds like Kobe Covington.
He comes on every now and then, and he says, "Hey, listen, I'm up." I don't know. We gave him like carte blanche. He can come on whenever he wants.
Dude, he sounds like Kobe.
He always says the same thing. In a few words.
After you go to Bucked Up, get over to Dynamic Life. You can find it on Instagram at LIV Dynamic. That is at Live Dynamic without the E. And click the link in the bio. You can just take 20 seconds out of your life to become a patient and get your weight loss, sexual health, and anti-aging in check. And then while you're at it, the Rasha. Get over to at Rasha Revolution on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. Follow the Rasha. Figure out how to get that championship mindset. And we're going to be partying with the Rasha next week. VIP style in Marbella, Spain. Marbella. What do you say about that, Mike?
It's insane. I'm typing as I'm as I'm talking. No, I wanted to point out one thing. We got to pick on Big Ben like we always do, right? -1 +5, 4% owner, whatever the hell he is right now.
Yeah, I think he's a +4 right now.
So he said, I'm going to Italy or Australia for sure. You know what that reminds me of? It works 60% of the time. It works every time.
Yeah, 60% of the time.
Just so you know, 60% of the time, it works every time. Big Ben's going to Italy or Australia for sure.
60% of the time, it works.
60% of the time, it works every time. That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
He's going to be at either one of those places for sure, but not one but not both. So whatever that means.
And shout out to our boy Kevin Smith down in Florida. He's happy that we're going to Spain. I just got a little message from him. He's so pumped, and we love hanging out with Kevin Smith. So we're gonna be seeing you down there. But big shout out to him because he's been helping everybody else out in his area down there in Tampa area. So fucking the guy's a goddamn saint. He's a Canadian saint, Mike.
Yeah, second level, buddy.
That's
what I'm going to tell you. What, Kevin Smith, when we go to Spain, it's going to be second level.
Second level. That is one of my favorite things ever.
We'll have to. We've never asked you what that means, but we just assume it means it's great. Like it's cool. This is crazy. Like
I think what he meant was I think he meant that night took this sport to the next level.
To the next level?
That's what he meant.
Maybe. It wasn't. You don't think it was like quite literally when we got up the stairs, we were
second
on
floor?
the second level, second floor. But
it
when
could
we
have
saw
been.
him, he was like second level. So I figured that was like a Canadian version of like this is the shit, you know, second level. And I was like, hey, that must be like a Canadian slang, second level.
Second level.
I'm actually gonna cut. I bet, yeah, like next level, like Megan said, like when people say this shit is next level, that's the Canadian version of next level. It's second level.
That night was second level, Mike. That night was.
I'm gonna cut that out of the video and use it. I'm gonna second level balcony. He said. But he just yelled second level when we got to the top of the steps. So I was like, I don't know what that means.
I love it. But, man, I love this shit, Mike.
I'm pulling that.
It's going to be a great time. Everybody, make sure you stay tuned to our channels because we're going to be pumping some stuff out. We might go live out there. We might do something with Lou Fuse. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But it's going to be.
We haven't told him we're going to do something with them, but we've just.
I'm sure, but we've
just. If we can. So here's the thing: if we can set up a live event, like a live feed from like wherever, somewhere cool where there's a bunch of people and it's us three, and anybody can just sit down and talk, we could probably get like a lot of good people on.
Who do you think would win in a fight between if you and I fought Big Ben Vanaski 2-on-1? He'd fucking die, right? Ben would die.
Yeah, I would fist him.
Ben, you'd get fisted so hard, I'd knock that giant fucking head right off your neck. And Mike would be Mike did not fucking with you. Oh man. Anyways, no show tomorrow night, guys.
I fist you so hard.
Yeah. As Keith Richardson said, your guys' algorithm is filled up with men fisting each other because you watch the Mike and Mish show.
That's correct.
Let's go, boy.
That's it. So with that said, Mike, do you have anything else for the peoples that are watching?
No, I don't. I don't have anything left. I've given everything I have. What more could you actually need or want? I mean, let me have something for myself.
All right. Peace.